So in this video, we're going to be ranking all the rogue characters in the game for ranked. So if you enjoyed this video, if you don't mind smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel with notifications turned on. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. We're trying to hit it by New Year, so it really means a lot to me. And also comment down below which one of these do you agree with or disagree with the list you're about to see. Keep in mind this is all for ranked and this is all personal preference. So let's jump right into this video. If you haven't seen my recent video, make sure you check that out. It'll be on screen right now. So let's get right into this video. So I was contemplating whether I should start alphabetically and start with Anvil, or should just go by left to right and put them up on top. So I think we're just going to go with ranking them from S all the way down to D tier. So starting off in S tier that I can see here is Dahlia. So Dahlia definitely belongs in S tier. If any of you have used her, you would know how overpowered and really meta she is. Currently for ranked, she's going to have smoke grenades, regular grenades, the ability to link with your Lancers, your Ronins, your Trench, really anyone like that, and it'll really help her and your team get along with it. She's definitely meta, and I would definitely try her out. If you're not someone who's too great with the DMR, although it is getting nerfed, you should definitely try it out and try to get good with it before it gets completely nerfed. And when ranked comes out, she'll definitely be a meta pick that you should be trying out. Next up might be a controversial one, but I think Lancer belongs in the S tier. I know a few people won't agree with me on this, but I think her ability to get onto a site very quickly, also she's very good when she links with her Dahlia. She's just very good all round. Being able to take silent footsteps, go across zip lines silently using her ability is really overpowered, and not a lot of people know that you can actually go silently over the zip lines with it. She's definitely going to be meta for ranked, for pushing sites and everything like that. A lot of people have been using her in the the Rogue Company tournaments at the moment, like Rogue Company Cup, the CMGs and stuff like that. She's definitely an underrated pick, and she's definitely meta, and you really need to be trying her out. The next one we're going to put in the list is Trench. Obviously, he is very meta. The nerf that's coming to his DMR does not really affect him too much, for the simple fact that he's still one of the best rogues in the game. His barbed wire mixed in with the fact that he has tear gas and trophy systems. And if you don't like using the DMR, you can always just swap over to the KA-30. It's a really great gun. So he's two absolutely amazing weapons you can pick between depending on how you're feeling. He has barbed wire, which is one of the best ults in the game. It really stops people from pushing you. You use him on offense and defense because of his trophy system as tear grenades. He's definitely meta, and he definitely belongs in the S tier. So that's after wrapping up our S tier. Now getting into the first one, the A tier, I'm going to put Saint down. For certain people, Saint is S tier, but for me personally, the drone, although it's very good being able to revive your teammates, the simple fact that sometimes it takes too long, even when you have helping hand, I don't think he belongs in S tier. He's definitely meta, and he'll definitely be good for offense and defense and ranked. But I don't think that he belongs in S tier, even though his guns are very good, and you should definitely try him out. I've personally been using a lot more Saint. I never usually used him before, but trying to get good with the meta and being able to play different rogues, I definitely picked up Saint, and I realised what I was missing out on by not really using him. The next one going into the A tier is Anvil. So Anvil, I think, has been, personally by me as well, he started off at the very beginning of the game as an S tier for me, dropped down to A, and my last tier list he was either B or C. He's back into A now for the simple fact that with the shield plants and the shield diffuses, even just being able to plant your shield in certain spots like on canals can lock down an entire area, and really the only way for people to counter it is to spam you out with grenades. But if you pair them up with someone like the Trench for slows, then they can't get by your shield. You can just pick them off easily. And even at that, if they want to lob nades and stuff at you, you do have trophy systems and you've C4. So if they try pushing you, C4 over the shield, blow them up, and then you also have trophy systems to stop them from bombing you out of your spot. He's definitely an A tier, and I think if you can use him right and you know what you're doing with him, you can have super good plays. Even on a game, I'll probably throw up a clip if I can find it, of we used it on High Castle where they plant on B and we put down our shield and defuse, and there's nothing they could do. We had one person defusing who planted the shield, then we'd have two people covering them, trophies were down, they couldn't get us off the bomb, they had to rush us, and it was just such a good plant and defuse spot that I really think he's an A tier and he belongs there. So next up in the A tier we have Vi. Being able to use her poison traps are super good on offense and defense, and with the buff that is coming to her on Wednesday, also when ranked will be dropping, is going to be super meta, and she's very good. Her Nightshade, or Night Stalker I believe it's called actually, is being buffed, and it's going to be a lot better, being able to pick off enemies. I believe the damage is being buffed, the recoil is being buffed, or I guess taken down a little bit, and she's going to be a lot better to use. She's going to be really meta. She has Incinerator Grenade, So if you mix that with her poison traps, people cannot defuse the bomb. If you incinerate it, then throw down your poison, and you're guaranteed just to knock someone, slow them down from defusing. Same on planting. If someone's planting and you're on defense, you just throw it down. They'll have to stop planting, or else they'll plant it and die, and then their teammates will have to back off. So I think she's definitely meta, but she's not quite S tier. So I'll leave her in the A tier for now. Next up in A tier, I'm going to put Talon. Obviously recon this game is super important on offense and defense. You know, being able to put it down on certain parts, like in canals, I've brought up a few times. Even putting it in mid map, so you know if anyone's pushing through. Obviously Lancer and Ronan can push through it, but if you recognize that in an enemy team comp and they don't have either of them, you put that in mid. Then what you do is you have 2 on either side, which means you have 2 on A and 2 on B, and you're protected by mid because you'll see them pop up on the map if they are pushing through mid. I find that he's pretty overpowered, and even on offense, he's very good. We'll use canals again. When you're pushing A and you drop straight in on the map, you can run and throw it in the furthest right hand side, like in front of you, like diagonal right, and you'll be able to see if anyone's in secret or if anyone's on orange, so you'll be able to like shoot out and see if anyone's there. If not, and you don't see them, you can push all to the left side through the little wall and pick off anyone who's hiding at boxes or half wall. I find that he's pretty overpowered. You know, with C4 as well, if anyone is hiding in secret, you can just C4 them out the spot. He's definitely, you know, a good pick for anyone that's looking to play aggressive, and he's definitely an A tier character. Now, the last bit of this tier list will be a bit, you know, I guess some people won't agree with it, and that's 100% fine. This is for ranked, and it is my personal opinion. I've spoken with a lot of people that play the game a lot, and they'd probably agree with most of it. So the next one is Ronan's a B tier. In public matches, she's probably S tier, but in ranked and in competitive games, she's not quite as good as you may think she is. Obviously, her ballistic knife is pretty decent, but a lot of people are watching out for it, and if you're playing a competitive match or ranked match, you have your earphones in, you're able to hear that, unless she directly hits you with it, which it has been nerfed, so guaranteed it's not going to like kill you on impact. You know, the KA-30 is pretty decent. She has a regular grenade and I believe a smoke grenade, so she has like the right sort of kit. But I just don't think that she's quite up there with the A or the S tier. She's a B tier, but you know, in public matches she's obviously a lot better. I just find that you can't really use her too much on defense, maybe on map like High Castle, or maybe on offense on Factory, but she's really not what I consider to be a meta character at the moment, especially for ranked. So that's why I put her in the B tier. So another surprise one coming into B tier, because I haven't mentioned before, is Dima. Dima could have slipped into the A tier, but the reason for him not being my A tier, and this is all personal preference, is I don't find that he is meta enough. Obviously, you know, a lot of people use trophy systems and stuff like that in ranked or when rank comes out in competitive. I just don't think that he's super meta. Obviously, you know, he has his maps and his times, but I don't think you'd be running them on majority of maps and get away with the same success that you would in a public match. So I think he's just a B tier character for the sake of ranked. I know a lot of people will disagree with this because in pubs, you could probably say Phantom's an S tier, but obviously you don't see Phantom on the list now either. But stuff like that, you know, you just got to know the difference between ranked and a public match, and it will show who's really good at just pub stomping and those that are really tactical, and it will show when ranked comes out when you have the pub stompers versus those that are just really good at the game. And I'll be excited to see, you know, who can actually pub stomp in ranked, which will be the real indicator of just how good you are or just how bad the enemy team are. And the next one to go into the B tier is one of my favourite characters in the game. I've run him all the way since I started playing the game, all the way back in the early alpha, and that is Dallas. Dallas is one of my favourite characters in the game. You know, his ability to kill someone and then ping off his ulti again, so you basically get 2 free turns of it, just down them. It's really good, and I would say, yeah, it's pretty meta in ranked. But people on offense, yeah, he might be good on defense, but I don't think that the HRM, I think it's called now, HRM KS is that good of an AR, and I don't think that the DMR is that great. It's like a 2-3 hit kill, unless you're that guy, I think his name's Queep, who I always see on Twitter and stuff, that he always just bangs headshots. Unless you're him, you're not going to be really running Dallas, because hitting headshots with him I feel is inconsistent. Sometimes I feel like I should be getting headshots and it's just a torso shot and I'm not getting the points for it, and then it's inconsistent to shoot after because it doesn't shoot that quickly. You know, it does like a bolt action before you can shoot again. I just don't think that he's super meta, even though his ability is really good. I just don't see him really working out in ranked mode unless it's more of a flex pick or you have a certain strategy you want to run. And the last one to be added into the B tier is Phantom. Obviously she's very good, and although like she could be higher up on the list. I personally don't think she will be. The one map I could see her use a lot on probably Windward for the plant on B side when people sit across the what do we call it, the zip line and snipe the bomb. But that's pretty much countered, as we've done it a few times in scrims and stuff, where you literally, if you know it's like 2 or 3 versus 1 phantom, what you can do is you can have a teammate stand in front of you and keep spamming crouch. And if you know she's on the other side of the wall, and you can basically use it as a human shield. Or on top of that, if you have an anvil on your team, you just place an anvil shield and she cannot do anything. I find that, you know, obviously being able to hit an enemy for 140 in a headshot is pretty good, but unless you're insane with it, you know, I don't find that sniping this game is super accurate. Sometimes I feel like I hit body shot and I get a headshot, and vice versa, where I think I hit a headshot and I get body shot. But it's personally, like, not really that great for me. I've hit quite a good few shots with Phantom, and like I think she's decent character in pubs, but I don't see her being too meta in ranked. But let me know down below, do you think I'm being a bit hasty with this list? Do you think some pub stomping characters will be good in ranked? Do you think some ranked characters that right now that I have in are not actually going to be that great? Let me know down below as we get into the last 3 rogues. So first up to be added to the C tier is Glitch. I see a lot of people complain about Glitch and say that he's not that useful. He is pretty good. Obviously he's been buffed a few times, so he's getting better and better. I think long term though, he just won't be that great. Unless they do a bit of a rework with him. I don't think his SMG is that great. I think he's a shotgun paired with the SMG. I think if it was up to me, I would give him an AR and an SMG. It would probably make him a bit more usable, especially if you've got the KA-30. On top of that, you know, being able to hack an enemy, it's just like an EMP to last them for a few seconds. It's not really that great for the same type of, I guess, suppression that you'd have on them. I'd rather just use the Dallas's EMP and just, you know, run at them. I don't think that he's that useful, especially when it takes, I believe, 5 seconds for his ulti to go off and they have to stay in radius while you're doing it. I don't think it's that great. I don't think the Semtex works with him. I think he needs a massive rework if he wants to be used more, but that's his personal preference. I think he's a really cool character to look at, has some great skins, but he's just not going to be that meta for rogue ranked. So let me know down below, do you agree with this, disagree with this? And as we get into the second last person to be added to the list, and that's going to be Scorch. So obviously Scorch is another one of them pub stomping type of characters. Her ability to use her, I can't think of what the actual ability is called, but basically where she shoots bullets and they're on fire. You know, does extra damage and it kills people a little bit quicker. But her pistol's not great. Her, I think it's the SL, is it SL something, is her SMG is not great. Her shotgun is pretty decent, but at the same time, you don't really like, I don't feel like you get too many opportunities to shotgun people in this game, except for maybe Anvil or Vi, because both of them are like so aggressive in different ways. But with Scorch, I find that people just know what to do with her. Her utility's not great. She's an Incendiary Grenade. Still, I find that's useful on someone like Vi, but on someone like Scorch, it's not really. She's definitely a C tier. Once again, like Glitch, I think she needs a bit of a rework if she really wants to be, you know, up here on the list. But let me know down below, maybe I'm just getting these wrong, maybe I just don't really know, maybe I'm not being like smart enough with my picks, but let me know down below what you guys think. And last to be added to the list is Chalk. So I would put him in C tier, but unfortunately he's a D tier character. Although he's not the worst character in the world, he's also not the best. He, for me, you know, he's a selfish player. That's like the people that play with him, like they sort of think they can like 1v4 every game, and it's not really something you can do in a game like Rogue Company. There's so many things that can stop him, especially people thirsting people so easily. In ranked, a lot of people thirst you instantly and they're ready for you to beat down this Chalk. I find that it's so predictable, and even with his ability to roll in and out of cover, unless you get down by a Phantom or a random Dema like launcher or grenade or something like that, you're pretty much guaranteed dead. And maybe they need to buff the amount of health he has to like triple health while he's downed, but then at the same time, then how unfair would it be if you to pump a full mag into a down person? So I don't know what they're going to actually do to change him, but currently he offers nothing to the team other than the fact that he'll just revive himself and push out and probably die and leave your team at a 3-4 disadvantage for the entire game. But let me know down below what you guys think about this list. Do you agree with it, disagree with it? I'm curious to know what you guys think down below. So that's all we have for today's video. If you wouldn't mind smashing that like button, subscribe to the channel, post notifications on, and I'll talk to you guys later. Also, I forgot to mention there's 2 videos up on screen. Make sure you check them both out, and we are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So if you don't mind subscribing to the channel with notifications turned on, it would really mean a lot to me. But thanks everyone, I'll see you guys later.